others, is it going to help you to improve yourself? Are you feeling confident from within when you're wearing that shirt in a big cafeteria? There are different peoples are there. You don't know how to talk to that particular person who is actually cleaning your table. You're a magnetic personality, which is worth $1 million brand personality. So to give that particular identity, what is it?
Now, the second question is, Ravi, when it comes to first impression, and you say that it is very important, we have seen it is important, how to improve it, how to make your first impression perfect impression?
Correct. So just imagine, like, if somebody we are meeting, or like, when we are while creating that particular first impression, why we are saying that first impression, like you said, hey, definitely, like, that can be myth as well, right? We might think that that can be myth as well, because you cannot judge me by the way I look. You cannot judge me by the way, like, I dress up. You might don't know the kind of experience I have, the kind of skills I have. Like, I will be able to, like, handle that particular project, and I can get an opportunities. I understand that might be there, that might not be there as well. Okay. But the first impression is definitely very much important, because what will happen is, like, just imagine if you are not able to create a great first impression, then for the opportunity, it takes a very long time for somebody to trust you. It trusting people, right? Why then we have to show up to the other person, or maybe in the career setting, we need to show up them. There is a lot of things I will be able to do, like, and like we have to convince so many people and everything. That's when they will be able to trusting. Okay, chalo, I can trust you. Like, you will be able to lead that particular project or everything. Or the other way is when you are able to create that powerful first impression, wherein, like, how you can build that first impression is, like, first of all, like, the way you dress is very much important. Now, based on your, like, corporate setting, each and everything, there are certain things where I can still see so many people who are going for a work, they just don't bother, like, what they are wearing. For some, it's not iron. For some, it's like, some shabby kind of a thing. This all impacting. Forget about others. People are not going to trust you. It's not about others. Is it going to help you to improve yourself? Are you feeling confident from within when you're wearing that shabby things? Are you feeling confident when you're not combed, your hair is not combed? Are you feeling confident enough from within that you are, like, able to handle some kind of a projects or the kind of a company you're working in? पहले अपने आप से start होता है, right? Forget about others के लिए तो that's fine, but are you feeling confident from within? The moment when you are wearing, like, good great quality things, the moment when you are taking care of each and everything, the grooming part, the way, like, the dresses, the body languages, the communication, the way you talk. For example, communication also comes into the first impression. Let's suppose you are in a cafeteria, in a big cafeteria, there are different peoples are there. You don't know how to talk to that particular person who is actually cleaning your table. You already created a bad impression.
Okay, so it's not about the hierarchy. You're talking to senior people. It's about to everyone, right?
Exactly, because end of the day, it shows a clear character of you as a person. और एक बार किसी ने देख लिया कि अरे you are abusing or you're not talking good with that cleaning person, just because he is doing that particular job, and you think that the title of that person is very low, और तुम बहुत अच्छा कमाते हो, just because of that, if you're doing that, you have already created a bad impression, and everybody is watching. And even if everybody is not watching, somebody is watching from upside. Even somebody is not watching from upside, you are watching yourself.
Agree. Yes.
Right? So that's why it is very much important, the way you talk, your body language, the way you listen to other people. Why we have given 2 years? Why not one? And but the people act like, they have a 2 mouth and only 1 year. We need to listen carefully. We need to listen. We need to, like, understand the other people, whoever it is. It just doesn't matter. that is also a first impression. You never know, whatever, like, bahar se jo bhi cheeze dikh raha hai, or like, you are able to hear, you are able to sense it. Sense, let's talk about sense, how it also creates a first impression. Somebody is a colleague want to, like, come and he wants to ask to you about a project which he needs to deliver in the next week, and there is a, like, dead end, like, deadline next week, we have to deliver a project, and that person is saying, hey, come to my desk, I will, like, show you the easiest way and how to manage and organize thing. He or she comes to that particular person, but suddenly within a minute usko pata lagta hai, like, are, like, there is a smell coming in. What does that have an impact? You might be seeing in office also, ye office setup mein kafi cheeze hota hai, you don't feel like to, like, go to that particular person. That is also creating a first impression. So always I say is, like, you need to smell good.
Yes.
Even, like, many a time what happens, my wife says, hey, you are, like, now going to do an online session, but still why you want to smell good? I said, I don't want to smell good for others. I want to smell good for myself first. Wow. Then it goes to others.
So this question related, like you said, you are into virtual meeting and still you are having a perfume or something. So that
Correct.
relates to the, so I have two questions related to this answer. So the
Yes.
first is that most of us are in a remote setup. Most of us are in a remote setup that we are working virtually, or we like for this, right? So if I want to, where there is no physical connection, where there is no face-to-face interaction, then how we can make sure that if I'm meeting to someone, I have a first impression intact?
Okay.
Like, for
It's
example,
much important.
yeah,
I'll share how you can still be able to crack that code of a first impression. Let's suppose, like, you are in a meeting and always your corporate meeting happens off camera. Let's suppose. Then you might be thinking, are off camera, or why I need to wear, like, some good things. I understand. Okay. But you need to ask yourself, are you confident to do for that particular day job by whatever you're wearing? Not only like, comfortable, at the same time, is it giving you that confidence? That you need to see. And the second important thing is, like, even despite of a meeting when the camera is not on, you need to see that if you have a meeting for certain kind of a project, let's suppose you have a meeting, you are a salesperson in a corporate and you have a meeting with some client. Let's suppose the camera will be off. You can create a great first impression by preparing about that particular meeting. When I say preparing about that particular meeting, is this is what I always do. If I want to go and meet any kind of a new person, or if I have some kind of a talk show going on, whatever happening, I go ahead and do a background research about that person. Who that person is? That person is in LinkedIn. What kind, or is it, like, in a Facebook or an Instagram, or, like, is it any kind of a website? For example, if I have a meeting with, let's suppose the salesperson is having a meeting for, like, under some IBM company, I will be doing each and everything research about that particular person, at the same time research about that company, so that I need to be there up to the page. When the meeting starts, that is when the conversation you can start picking up will be on page what the trend is happening in the IBM, for example. And that other person also has created impression, hey, isne to kafi tayari karke aaya. He knows about what he is talking about, instead of being blank karke, oh, this and all. And the other person is in assumption ki it's a very big company, everybody knows that.
Got it, got it. So here you're talking about to do a research and come. So this is also part of communication. Like, you have to talk interest, which people interest in, right?
Yes.
Not only about interest. It's not only about communication. It is about your impression also, which you are putting on other person. So now it's
absolutely correct. That you need to be prepared, well prepared about that particular individual or about that particular company. That's when you will be able to, like, ignite that particular spark, or, like, your presence, or maybe, like, whatever you are the agenda of that particular meeting. Or else what will happen, 30 to 40 minutes will go, like, for that person to make sure ki about which company I'm working, or, like, what you're going to do.
Right. Now the question which I wanted to ask you, and I'm eager to know, What do you mean by $1 million brand? You are the founder of $1 million brand. What is that exactly means?
Yeah. So how did this $1 million brand came up with? Like, as I said, when I was working on my own personality, there was an aim within me that I want to become a magnetic personality, which is worth $1 million brand personality. So to give that particular identity, what is $1 million brand personality? A personality who know what he is talking about, who is a great communicator, who has a great personality that can make feel presence, like, when he is in the crowd. He is the person who will stand out in the crowd despite of, like, there are thousands of people in that. Who is the person who is never afraid of talking in front of the stage? Who is the person who is never who has a great body language, great behavior, and at the end of the day, who is great at, his skills, and also when it comes to making money. So